Verosika arrives on set though is not greeted by Ash and Yugi. There is an eerie silence on set that makes Verosika feel uneasy. She tries calling Yugi, though it goes straight to voicemail. She hears a noise behind her and spins on her heel, almost crashing into Koopa. Koopa motions for Verosika to follow her. Once they are in a secluded room, Koopa hands her a letter. Verosika goes to say something though Koopa raises a finger over her mouth. Koopa motions for Verosika to open the letter. She opens the letter and it reads,
Dear Verosika, sorry for the cloak and daggers, something is afoot at Anime Superstars. We've entrusted this letter to Koopa, trust no one else other than Koopa and Daijin. This week's Maxi Challenge is a design challenge. Could you please help the queens prepare this week? We hope to be there to judge the Maxi Challenge. Thank you for your help, we weren't sure who else to turn to. Best regards, Ash and Yugi.
Verosika looks at Koopa in surprise and Koopa grabs the letter from her. Koopa eats the letter and Verosika nods, unsure whether she should be disturbed or reassured. Just then both Koopa and Verosika hear scurrying outside the room. They both look at each other and Koopa goes to lock the door. Just then a figure bursts through the door and locks the door. Daijin looks at a very concerned Verosika and Koopa. He puts his finger to his lips. Another figure bounds down the corridor, not checking the room for Daijin. Daijin lets out a sigh of relief. He whispers,
We don't have much time. Someone's after me. I clawed him and managed to escape. I need to get to Ash and Yugi. Can you get me to the workroom?
Koopa nods. She gestures to Verosika. Verosika peers out into the corridor and heads towards the workroom. Daijin and Koopa follow her. The queens are gathered at the workroom table, looking at each other sleepily. Edward has told them to chat amongst themselves while he goes to get Ash and Yugi. The queens notice it is quiet on set and Kay looks around nervously. Esdeath uses this as a chance to start the conversation. Esdeath turns to Kay and congratulates him on his win last week as Prince Roy Alifair. She says it's very impressive that he's got 2 wins. He blinks twice and looks at her, clearly still on edge. She takes a pause and then says he seems to be playing a good social game. The queens all turn to Esdeath. Esdeath states that he's part of the Pretty People's Alliance with Junta, Aomin and Olivier, though he seems to be getting on well with Yurio. Esdeath then quickly adds that it was interesting that Kay, Aomin and Yurio all said her name last week, when Elle and Aomin were clearly the weakest in the challenge. Esdeath asks if they have formed some kind of alliance.
Oh, here we go. We're barely awake and Esdeath is already causing a scene. She's accusing Kay of being in some secret alliance, which I'm sure is a load of rubbish. Viewers, perhaps if you put your favorite queens in the comment section of this video, Ash and Yugi will see that no one is Team Esdeath. I'm quite confident Esdeath's only fan is herself.
Kay looks at Esdeath taken aback and asks her what she means about a secret alliance with Yurio. Esdeath narrows her eyes and said it must be her mistake. She asks him if he is not in a secret alliance then. Kay fumbles over his words, saying that he doesn't know what she is talking about. Junta looks oddly at Kay.
Okay, now I'm a bit confused. I thought Esdeath was just trying to steer the drama early this week, though the way Kay mumbled his response to Esdeath makes it seem like he's hiding something. I haven't heard about any secret alliance with Yurio, but I assume Kay would come to me if he wanted to make Yurio part of the Pretty People's Alliance.
Esdeath squints at Kay, clearly analyzing his response. She goes to press Kay further but Yurio quickly changes topics. He says that Esdeath had some nerve calling out the entire cast last week. Yurio says his name isn't the Russian one and that if she can't remember his name maybe she needs to get her memory checked. Olivier snaps her head towards Yurio and says Yurio's being a bit harsh towards Esdeath. Yurio looks at her incredulously and asks her if she was there on the main stage last week. Yurio reminds Olivier that Esdeath called her forgettable. Olivier says she talked to Esdeath about it and they've made up. Yurio says that a leopard never changes its spots and that he's sick of Esdeath getting a free pass to say whatever she wants about the other queens.
Look, I don't really care what Esdeath said on the main stage last week. I've been called far worse. Though I need the attention on Esdeath and away from the resistance. Kay nearly blew our cover before, but I think I changed topics quickly enough.
Wow, Yurio is coming at me like a rabid dog this morning. He clearly wants my attention, and he's got it. Let's see if I can get Yurio to entrap himself.
Junta says Yurio has a point, though he says it's a pretty classic Esdeath move to call everyone out. Junta says the fans will see her for what she is and it's her week to go home this week. Esdeath retorts that she was asked who she wanted to go home and she said everyone, which was her honest answer to the question. She says everyone needs to go if she wants to win, so why not give a reason why they should all go home? Esdeath says it's a far more compelling answer than a spineless answer, like, for example, I don't like this question and I don't want to answer it. Esdeath looks pointedly at Kay.
Go fuck yourself, Esdeath. I answered the damn question even though I didn't want to. I just don't like finding reasons to put others down. I've been put down enough to know that sometimes those words stick with you. Sue me for not wanting to be a to the others. Not that Esdeath seems to have a problem with that.
Kay says his answer wasn't spineless and he's had enough of people telling him he doesn't have a backbone or that he's too much of a bleeding heart. Kay says the reason he said Esdeath's name last week is because even though he doesn't think she's doing the worst in this competition, her screen time comes at the expense of others and that her words can be callous. He says that if her brand is being a bitch then she can go off, though he's going to call her out when she's a Kay finishes by saying her days in the competition are numbered and the resistance is going to take her out. The others look at him shocked.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack. I've never seen Kay lose it like this. He's obviously pressed about something this morning and I will make a note to check if he is okay. What's interesting is he referred to the resistance. I have no idea what this is. Is this a secret alliance I am not privy to?
These queens really want to go off on me today. I wasn't expecting it. I'm glad to see Kay is finally standing up for himself. It's a refreshing change from being a wallflower. It looks like my plan worked. He made reference to a resistance? I don't know what that is, but trust I'll find out.
Olivier looks at Kay and Esdeath and she says maybe everyone should take a breath. Esdeath shrugs her shoulders and says she is fine, though she won't press the matter any further. Junta chimes in and asks what the resistance is that Kay is referring to. Kay stumbles over his words and looks to Almin. Almin looks back at him and says nothing. Kay sighs. He says it's true, he's been talking to Yurio about forming a resistance. He quickly adds the purpose of the resistance is to get rid of Esdeath. Yurio adds that the resistance is open to everyone except Esdeath. Esdeath's eyes go wide and she grins.
Oh, excellent. This is great news. Have I told you how many rebellions I crushed when I was a general 500 years ago? I've been craving something to destroy. This resistance is perfect.
Junta looks surprised but says if the resistance's goal is to defeat General Esdeath then he asks how he can enlist. Yurio jumps in quickly to say Junta is the newest member. Esdeath's eyes narrow at Junta. Junta then turns to Olivier and asks her if she too is ready to join the resistance. Olivier hesitates. She says she'll think about it but she thinks now that there are only 6 of them that alliances need not come into play. Olivier says she wants to play fair going forward and may the best queen win. Almin jokes that's an answer for the pageant, not the workroom of anime superstars. Kay, Yurio, and Junta laugh and Esdeath lets out a small chuckle, though Olivier looks ashen.
I was trying to defuse the tension with a joke but I put my foot in it. I didn't mean to upset Olivier. Then again, I do feel her answer of may the best person win is a bit of a cop-out. Yes, it's about doing your best but forming alliances in this kind of game can give you a big advantage.
Olivier goes to say something but the queens hear footsteps. The queens turn to the workroom entrance and see Verosika walk through the door.
What's up, sluts? Surprised to see me? Well, you're about to be even more surprised when I tell you who's about to walk through that door. Serving sass and shell, it's Koopa the turtle. Pussing the house down boots and serving platitude, he's Daijin the cat. Proving the sluts have indeed been triple luts, it's General Katsuki. He's this drama's leading man, Tatsumi. And they're serving designs, fashion and opulence. They own everything, it's Elle and you too.
Did you miss me? It's okay, I know you did. Fear not viewers, I'm back. Hanake Couture begged me to come back and who am I to deny the people what they want?
What the hell is going on? Why have the eliminated queens returned? I can't help but be overcome with fury looking at Tatsumi. I'm gonna wipe that smirk off his face this week.
Well, I can see a few of you are pressed to see your fellow sisters back in the workroom. You've probably already guessed, but Ash and Yugi want you to participate in Anime Superstar's first makeover challenge.
You're kidding me. I was eliminated before the design challenge. What a cruel, cruel world it is.
A design challenge. That's okay, I suppose. I confess I'm a bit distracted this week. I had a very broken sleep last night thinking about Esdeath's confession that she enjoyed our on-screen kiss. It kept bouncing around in my head. I can't be attracted to her, right? And even if I were, surely I shouldn't act on it. People don't need a reason to give me a hard time, and I don't want to make it easy for them. Then again, if I'm honest, I am attracted to her confidence. Gosh, no. I'm not saying this here. Let's just cut back to the challenge.
I'm Verosika from Cartoon Drag Race World Tour and your extra special guest judge this week, and apparently I'm helping you prepare for the Maxi Challenge. Well, I guess someone should be responsible for assigning the pairs. Ash and Yugi left me no instructions about a mini challenge. Well, they barely left me any instructions, period. So I've decided that whoever won last week's Maxi Challenge can have the honor of assigning the pairs.
Okay, what is going on? Where are Ash and Yugi?
I'm not sure where Ash and Yugi are, but Verosika is my kind of gal. She runs a tight ship on Cartoon Drag Race World Tour, which you should check out on YouTube. Just for your information, viewers, I am Team Beatrice. Alexis is a close second. Us boss bitches need to stick together.
Kay, I understand you won last week. That means you hold the power to decide which of your fellow queens should be paired together. Kay, please step forward.
Oh God. I'm feeling really anxious this week. I really wish Ash and Yugi were here because I can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. As they say, though, the show must go on. I'm not really sure how I should do the pairings. I don't want to screw anyone over, but I'm also sick of being called a pushover. I'm looking at these queens and I'm thinking that I need to make sure my boyfriend and I get a good pairing. Thanks, Verosika. I'm a big fan, by the way. Your reputation precedes you.
It does, yes. Now, Kay, who will you pair together?
Okay, Verosika. I would like to start with 3 pairs first. I would like to give myself L, give Almin Mewtwo, and give Jun a Daijin.
Excellent work, Kay. That was a good decision. Junta and I are close outside this competition, and if it's family resemblance you want, we're going to give it to you every time. Clock that T, meow.
I'm very happy to be paired with Daijin. He was eliminated far too soon, and I know he will be hungry for redemption. Daijin also has an eye for fashion, and I'm aware fashion has been my downfall in this competition.
I'm glad to be paired with Mewtwo. They know fashion and their walk down the runway is unparalleled in this competition.
Good. If Mewtwo is the mother of this competition, Almin is the father. The way he gathered Tatsumi a few weeks ago and the calm demeanor he holds in the workroom makes him a formidable queen. Mother will help him secure his 3rd win.
Very good, Kay. That leaves Tatsumi, Koopa, and General Katsuki to be assigned.
I'm hoping Kay will do the sensible thing. Assign Tatsumi to Yurio so the Broto Jays can be back together. Give Olivier her #1 fan Koopa, and give my drag daughter, General Katsuki, to me.
Thanks, Verosika. Can I please assign General Katsuki to Yurio, Koopa to Olivier, and Tatsumi to General Esdeath?
That motherfucker. Pairing me with Tatsumi. Well, I'm glad to see Kay has a spine after all. I'm glad because it gives me something to break.
That was the best move Kay could make to destabilize Esdeath. Giving Olivier Koopa may also impact her game. You may be wondering if I'm upset to be paired with Yuri given our historic rivalry. Well, this competition has proven which Yuri has longevity, and that would be me. Yuri will be an asset to me, because we have a similar body shape and flexibility, which increases my options on the runway.
Oh, wonderful! I get to work with my idol, Olivier. I'm such a big fan. This is a dream come true. And she won the first design challenge, so I think we're going to smoke these hoes.
Well, Kay, it looks like you're not going for Miss Congeniality after all. Queens, you will have 4 hours to prepare your family resemblance looks, and then you'll hit the main stage as pairs, where I hope Ash and Yugi will meet us. Good luck, sluts, and don't fuck it up.
The queens move into their pairs. Almin, Kay, Mewtwo, and L move to the same table. Almin apologizes to L for eliminating him last week before a design challenge, and L laughs. He says it's quite alright, he knew he was losing momentum and he couldn't get it back this time around. Mewtwo says they were robbed and looked dramatically at the camera. K, Aomin, and L laugh. Aomin and K present their ideas to Mewtwo and L for their family resemblance runway. K suggests he and L walk the runway as adopted brothers who have recently found their way back to each other. L says he is happy to be led by K, though their similar skin tone and build could work well for a twinning concept. K says he doesn't have two dresses that are similar enough, though L offers to design one to complement his dress. K asks him if he is sure and accepts L's offer.
Put me in, coach. Kay and I are going to look damn good as we strut down that runway. You can trust me on that. I'm thrilled to flex my design skills.
Aomin says he isn't sure what to do, as Mewtwo and him look completely different. Aomin explains his original idea of a mother-daughter look is out of the question. Mewtwo notices that Aomin has a tailored suit. Mewtwo says they could make some modifications to one of the gowns they brought to the competition to make a wedding dress. Mewtwo says since they are the mother and father of the competition, should their concept be becoming family by marriage? Aomin laughs and says he isn't sure he is the father of the cast, though he likes the concept. Mewtwo gets straight to work.
Aomin is serving father, daddy and trade all at the same time. Not Mewtwo calling Aomin a daddy. The fans will gag. Perhaps don't tell him I said that until after this airs.
Mewtwo is already hard at work and the look they're creating is absolutely stunning. I'm a queen who knows how to sew, obviously, as I'm not going to be one of those you-girls who comes onto the show without fundamental drag skills. I'm helping Mewtwo to bring the dress in so that Mewtwo is cinched for the gods.
Elsewhere, Yuri, Yurio, Esdeath and Tatsumi are all working together. The tension at the table is palpable. Esdeath explains to Tatsumi that her concept is Cinderella's two stepsisters vying for their mother's attention. Tatsumi shrugs, saying he's fine with whatever. Esdeath gets to work tailoring the outfits she has. Tatsumi stands by quietly, watching her work.
My outfits are absolutely stunning, and my concept is strong, but I'm concerned Tatsumi will fuck me over this week. He's watching me work, not saying anything nor offering to help. I'm not sure if he's being unhelpful because he's upset I froze him in ice, or whether he's just bored and doesn't want to be here. Either way, my only chance is to get these outfits just right, and hope he leans into my competitive step-sister theme.
The tension at this table is almost unbearable. Yuri is being compliant with my requests, and he's helping me as best he can, though I'm not letting him anywhere near our sewing machine. When it comes to fashion, he is a liability. Due to my competitive nature, I haven't been kind to Yuri over the years. I think maybe it's time I put my pride aside, as I've got to find a way to connect to him this week. It might involve sharing feelings, which is gross.
Yurio comments that he likes how these outfits are coming together, though he's concerned there is a lack of family resemblance. Yuri nods and asks what he can do to help. Yurio says it's too late for them to change the concept, though perhaps they can find a way to synergize on stage. He says they will have to go down a brother's concept. Yurio says he wants to find some common ground with Yuri so that the judges believe they are brothers. Yurio confesses he isn't sure how to find common ground with Yuri. Yurio says Kei told him that vulnerability can sometimes lead to common ground, so he takes a breath. Tatsumi and Esdeath stop what they are doing and listen in. Yurio says he has never fit in back home, partly because he's very socially awkward and partly because he has been told he's only worth something if he is successful. He comments that the pressure can be suffocating. He also comments that he doesn't fit in and the only time he can really express who he is on the inside is when he is figure skating or in drag. Yuri asks Yurio what he means and Yurio says he always goes for a more androgynous look when figure skating and in drag, and that's all he's going to say on that because he doesn't want repercussions when he goes home.
Feelings. Gross.
I'm stunned listening to Yurio. I've never seen this side to him. He's always just been a bit of a brat.
Yuri thanks Yurio for his confession. Yuri says as an openly gay figure skater in Japan he knows a thing or two about not fitting in. Yuri says he's also managed near crippling performance anxiety most of his life and is still working out how to manage that. Yurio nods, seeming unsure what to say. Yurio and Yuri look at each other awkwardly, unsure what the socially acceptable protocol is. A few moments pass and Yurio reaches out a fist, which Yuri fist bumps. A few moments pass and Tatsumi breaks his silence and says he would like to get something off his chest. He says that he's been reflecting and he too would like to be a bit vulnerable. He says after he was eliminated, Kay came back to help him out of the ice and he realized what a dick he had been to the queens. He says he also got a lot of hate online and realized he didn't want to be a toxic queen, so he was glad to be back this week. He says he owes Yuri and Esdeath an apology for how he acted towards them. Yuri, Yurio, and Esdeath look at him in surprise.
I did not expect that from Tatsumi. Thank God. I was so stressed he was going to cause chaos in the workroom.
I want to believe, Tatsumi. I do. And I'm desperate, so I'm playing along. But, do I buy it? Not really.
Esdeath thanks him. She says he was a real dick to her and she didn't appreciate being called desperate. She thanks him for his apology and says if he is willing to help her out this week, it will be water under the bridge.
It's important to be accountable for your actions, so I jumped on the Kumbaya train to acknowledge I was a total dick during my tenure in this competition. And look, I absolutely was a total dick. And I don't regret it at all. I just need these queens to believe I am remorseful for my actions so I can pull off a Lola-level sabotage. God, I'm going to fuck over as many of these queens as I can. Viewers, I hope you enjoy.
Tatsumi tries on the outfit Esdeath has made for him. He says it looks good and he goes to look at it in a mirror.
Esdeath has done a really good job with this outfit. I'm looking at myself in this mirror and I'm so attracted to myself. Shame about the tears in it. Before I took off the dress, I made a few edits that she won't notice until it's too late. Sabotage 1 complete.
Tatsumi tells Esdeath it looks good. She eyes him suspiciously but nods. He tells her it's a little long and she nods, getting to work on the length. Tatsumi notices Yurio and Yuri are trying on their outfits and Tatsumi goes over to their sewing machine. He quickly opens it up and puts something from his pocket inside the machine. He then quickly reassembles it.
Sabotage 2 complete.
Tatsumi then goes over to Aomin, Mewtwo, L and K's table. K looks at him suspiciously and puts himself between Tatsumi and his dress. Tatsumi raises his hands and tells him to relax. He says he wanted to come over and apologize for being horrible to K and for sabotaging L's dress in his final week in the competition. Tatsumi explains he's extremely remorseful for his actions and if he could have his time over he would do things differently.
I would absolutely do things differently. I would fuck over the queens even more than I did.
Mother calls bullshit. I have no idea what he is up to, but I'm not buying it.
I really hope Tatsumi is being sincere. I want to believe it because design challenges excite me and I want to see a fashion show this week.
Tatsumi notices that Yurio is going back to his sewing machine and he realizes he needs to move. On the way to Junta's table he passes by Kei and whispers in a low voice that Kei is a loser and he didn't deserve to make it this far.
As usual, Kei seems like the weak link. It's a bit pathetic, really. He seems on edge this week, so I'm hoping my comment will send him into a spin.
I couldn't quite believe what I was hearing. So much for his apology. God, he really knows how to twist the knife.
Elsewhere, Junta, Daijin, Olivier and Kuppa are all working together at a table. Daijin says he's extremely proud of Junta for slaying this competition, though comments he isn't surprised to see him top 6. Daijin says Junta is a shoe-in for the crown. Kuppa stares at them and smiles maniacally. She says Daijin is delusional as usual and that Olivier is the only queen with 2 wins who hasn't lip-synced, and that Olivier is taking the crown. Daijin raises an eyebrow, stating that those outfits are serving dollar store realness, so Kuppa should feel right at home. Kuppa raises a mocking fist and Junta laughs at the exchange.
I am worried for Daijin. He thinks him and Junta are going to win this week. You know what I think? I think he may have COVID because he has no taste, and he seems a bit delusional. Or is that just his personality?
Oh, Koopa has jokes now? Where were those week 1? Oh, and Koopa thinks I have lost my smell? Well, I certainly smell something. It's the smell of a pork cutlet, Queen. It's the smell of mediocre drag. Koopa's to be specific.
Wow, big words for a tiny cat. Mediocre drag? Who was second out again?
Fine. Yes, I was second out. Though even the viewers can't deny I was the icon of the season. I even landed a cameo in Cartoon Drag Race World Tour. I must say though, I've grown to love Koopa. She's a hopelessly average drag queen, but she's a good time gal.
The exchange between Daijin and Kuppa doesn't seem to resonate for Olivier. Daijin and Junta look at each other in concern. Junta asks if she is okay and she is snapped out of her daze. She says she is, she just had a terrible sleep and has a lot on her mind. Junta asks if Olivier is okay and if she wants to talk about anything. She goes to say something but Tatsumi arrives at their table. Tatsumi raises his hands and says he has come over to apologize. He says he is really sorry for how he acted this competition and he has come to make amends.
Bullshit.
Trust me, if he tries anything, I'll claw that pretty face of his.
I'm ready to green shell him if needed. Humans can survive with broken legs, right?
Junta says he doesn't buy it and Tatsumi should go tell someone who cares. Koopa and Daijin close ranks around their respective dresses. Tatsumi puts up his hands and says he understands, he doesn't expect to be forgiven, he just wanted to apologize.
And 3, 2, 1, boom.
Just then, Yurio's sewing machine explodes. Junta and Olivier look up and rush over to Yurio's table and ask if everything is alright. Yuri looks dazed and Yurio is examining his arms, which appear slightly singed. Yurio says he is fine but the dress is ruined. The queens all look at each other, unsure what to think. Tatsumi uses the distraction to pull out some scissors and he slashes up Junta's dress. He then moves onto Olivier's dress and slashes it up. Koopa and Daijin charge at Tatsumi. Koopa moves into a green shell and knocks him off his feet and Daijin claws at Tatsumi. Tatsumi gets to his feet and smirks.
I've done it again. I am once again the focal point of the episode. Oh viewers, how you must have missed me.
Verosika bursts into the workroom. She surveys the situation. Koopa shouts at her that Tatsumi has been sabotaging queens and that he needs to be stopped. Verosika motions for Aomin to join her. She marches toward Tatsumi and says it is time for him to leave the workroom. She asks Aomin if he can throw Tatsumi out and Aomin grabs Tatsumi in a hold.
I've had just about enough of this guy. He may be a good swordsman but I'm much stronger than him, so throwing him out of this competition will be my pleasure.
Aomin moves Tatsumi towards the workroom entrance despite Tatsumi attempting to break free. At the entrance, Tatsumi is able to jerk his head back and hit Aomin in the nose. Aomin's nose begins bleeding profusely.
Okay motherfucker. You want to see what happens when I get mad?
Aomin grabs him by his shirt and presses him against the wall. He says Tatsumi should get the fuck out now before Aomin gives him the beating he is long overdue for. Aomin chokes out the words as the blood spills from his nose. Tatsumi says he can't quite understand Aomin, could he repeat himself? Aomin raises a fist but Esdeath appears and quietly tells Aomin to take a step back. Aomin keeps his fist clenched tightly but Esdeath says she can handle Tatsumi now. Aomin glares at Tatsumi but takes a step back. Tatsumi looks at Esdeath and smugly asks what she is going to do. He taunts that if she kicks him out she won't have a design challenge partner. Esdeath asks him to leave the workroom without causing a scene. Tatsumi says only if she makes him. Esdeath says she will but she doesn't want to have to use force. Tatsumi says there's no way someone like her could forcibly remove him from the workroom. Esdeath nods and swiftly kicks him between the legs. He falls to his knees. She then asks Aomin if he can move Tatsumi outside the workroom. Aomin happily obliges. Mewtwo then uses their psychic powers to lock the workroom doors.
Fuck that guy. I don't care if I have to walk this runway by myself. That asshole isn't taking anything else away from me or these queens in the workroom. As much as I want to win, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. Tatsumi is all kinds of wrong. And, if you ask me, he got exactly what he deserved.
If you ask me, Tatsumi getting hit in the nuts was probably the most satisfying moment of the season.
Well, sluts, what a disaster of an episode. Here is my assessment of the situation. Firstly, Ash and Yugi owe me big time. I have no idea what kind of ship they're running at Anime Superstars, but this week we are the Titanic and we've hit the iceberg. Second, I do not condone violence, though Tatsumi was becoming dangerous, so I'm glad Esdeath and Aomin were able to manage the situation. Third, we now have a workroom situation. Olivier, Junta and Esdeath have cut up dresses, Yurio's dress is still smoldering, Aomin's nose is still bleeding, Kei is sobbing over in the corner of the workroom and Ash and Yugi are nowhere to be seen. I better receive a good guest judge booking fee, that's all I am saying.
Verosika goes over to Aomin and asks if his nose is broken. He says he does not think so and the bleeding has almost stopped. She tells him to take it easy for the next half hour, she doesn't need him passing out from blood loss. She goes over to Kei and asks him if he is okay. Kei nods and says he is fine, he's just taking a moment. He goes on to say that he's been really anxious this week and that Tatsumi said something in the workroom that got in his head. Kei goes on to say he's feeling embarrassed too, because last week in the confessional parody and on the main stage queens have said he's too soft and too spineless, and he thinks the viewers will think the same thing. Verosika considers this for a moment. She says the most important thing is that Kay stays true to himself. She says he can work on being more assertive if that's what he wants, but it's also okay for him to be his authentic self. She says the world needs more kind, gentle, and sensitive people. Kay nods and thanks her. Verosika then goes over to Yurio and assesses his burns. He says they are minor and Verosika agrees. She tells him to run them under cold water for 10 to 15 minutes just to be sure. Verosika then goes over to Junta and Olivier and examines the damage to their dresses. She sighs and says it will take them at least an hour to repair them. Esdeath then comes over and shows Verosika her dress with clear tears in the side of the dress.
Well, Tatsumi, mission achieved, you've really fucked over these queens. Viewers, I didn't quite realize just how vile he really is. Though on Drag Race Anime Superstars the Verosika edition, I don't think we're going to let evil win today.
Verosika calls everyone to the main table. She says she's extending the challenge by 2 hours to allow queens to repair their dresses. She asks if Mewtwo and Elle can help Yurio, Olivier, Junta and Esdeath restore their dresses, as they are the best designers of the competition, so that there can be a fair runway. Verosika then says she will act as Esdeath's partner so that Esdeath can present her runway. She then tells Aomin, Kay, and Yurio to spend time getting themselves patched up and ready for the runway so they can slay it. Verosika asks if the queens are okay with this and think this is a fair path forward. The queens all nod in agreement.
Verosika is the moment. I think everyone was starting to panic, but Verosika has remained poised and in control. She is a certified slay, if I do say so myself.
The queens work together to repair the sabotaged outfits. The queens look weary but satisfied, with all outfits having been adequately restored. Junta jokes that the resistance is still coming for Esdeath, and Esdeath smiles weakly, saying she's still going to crush them this week. The queens laugh, bond, and then hit the runway.
This is your final boarding call. All aboard. Your bags, sun's out. Take a face.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, so much for my entrance. Edward, where in the fresh hell are Ash and Yugi? Hi Verosika, welcome to Anime Superstars. Thanks Yugi, may I call you Yu-Gi-Oh? If you always look this good, you can call me anything you like. Oh Yugi, you're too kind. Ash, I have a question. When it comes to Pokemon, what do you look for in a catch? I look for natural talent, beauty and star quality. Reminds me of you, Verosika. Oh boys, you shouldn't. But please, do go on, we can do this all day. Well, about damn time, gentlemen.
Our most sincere apologies, Verosika. We'll have to fill you in later. How have things gone this week?
It has been an unmitigated disaster. You guys owe me big time. Well, I guess I have a challenge to introduce. This week the queens were asked to compete in Anime Superstars' first makeover challenge. Now let me go backstage so Esdeath can finish my makeup. Queens, start your engine and may the best drag performer win.
Esdeath and Verosika slayed the runway.
Like I said, my outfits were absolutely stunning. Verosika and I served competitive stepsisters. If anything, it was me trying to keep up with her, not the other way around. The queen of the cold is back and winter has come early.
Kay and Elle and Aomin and Mewtwo had a good runway.
Elle did such a good job designing his outfit. We choreographed our walks so that we looked like twins, and I could tell Ash and Yugi were living for us. I was a bit nervous stepping onto the runway, but when I saw Ash and Yugi I breathed a sigh of relief.
Junta and Daijin and Olivier and Koopa had a good runway.
Not my best showing this week. We strutted down the runway as owner and pet going to the ball together in our lush, flowing gowns, though I could tell the judges were not living for me.
This week I'm a mess. Elle helped us tailor the outfit, and I think there was family resemblance. There was just no cohesion in the way we walked the runway. I'm upset because I think I let Koopa down this week. She reassured me backstage that it went okay, but I've just been so in my head this week.
Yurio and Yuri had a bad runway.
It wasn't my best showing. It was nothing to do with the outfits. It was that Yuri and I just didn't look like family. I wore a blonde wig and gave Yuri a black wig, though the hairstyling was completely different, and I think it hurt our performance. I think we looked more like best friends.
Queens, Verosika has informed me what went down this week and I'm sorry that Tatsumi was allowed to re-enter the workroom. Hanake Couture went over our heads on this one. Thank you for being professionals and continuing the show. Verosika said you played fair and all outfits are restored. Queens, do you agree that week's showing was fair?
Junta states that he doesn't want to speak on behalf of the Queens, but Elle and Mewtwo did a great job restoring everyone's outfits and he doesn't feel he was disadvantaged. The Queens nod in agreement.
Well, thank you all for being consummate professionals. Yugi and I have talked and we've made some decisions. Kay and Almin, good work this week, you're safe. Kay, we were told you made some tough decisions when assigning pairs. You made a good choice giving yourself and Almin the best designers in the competition. This is how you play the game. There was, however, one standout. Great outfits, a fun storyline and charisma, uniqueness, nerve and talent. Esdeath, it's nice to see you return to form. Congratulations, you're this week's winner.
Take that, resistance. You gave me the fire I needed to crush you, and crush I did. No matter how many of you there are, Esdeath always comes out victorious.
That just leaves Olivier, Junta and Yurio. Olivier, you seemed out of sync with your partner this week. It took us out of the family resemblance. Yurio, you did well to work with Yuri given your history, though your looks didn't give us family resemblance. Junta, if there was one aspect of your drag that is lacking, it's your runways and it showed this week. What also showed was your chemistry with Daijin. It got you over the line. You're safe.
Thank God I have 9 lives because I lost one of them waiting for the deliberation. I'm so glad Junta isn't lip-syncing, though he would slay it even if he was.
That means Yurio, Olivier, you're both up for elimination.
In this moment, I'm feeling totally overwhelmed. I know I didn't do well this week, and I just can't seem to snap myself out of it. I'm beating myself up that I stumbled so close to the finale.
Well, I can see the writing on the wall. It's my 3rd lip sync and I have no wins. I'll do what I can in the lip sync. If by some miracle I take out Olivier, it would be great for the resistance.
Queens, this week you were asked to perform a lip sync to Vacay to Bonetown by the one and only Verosika. Queens, I am sure I don't need to say it, but good luck and don't fuck it up.
Koopa shouts from the back of the room for Olivier to slay the lip sync. The music starts and Olivier is jolted into action. Yurio appears to be performing at about 70% of his energy, though he notices Olivier is flubbing parts of the lip sync.
I noticed that Olivier is stumbling over her words, and she's off time with the music. It prompted me to shift gears into high because I realized I had a chance.
Yurio had a great lip sync.
In this moment, I am feeling like an utter embarrassment. I've listened to this song on repeat outside of the workroom. I'm just so tired and stressed, and I'm angry at myself for being in the bottom this week.
Olivier had a bad lip sync. The song finishes and Ash has his head in his hands. Yugi is looking up at the ceiling and Verosika looks down. Olivier puts her head in her hands.
Damn it, Olivier. The music started and she was like a deer in headlights. Everyone knows she can perform, so something must have been going on in her head. The performance ended and she burst into tears. Esdeath and I rushed on stage to comfort her.
Oh God, we hope you're okay, Olivier. Take a moment. Olivier, we have to ask, is Tatsumi's sabotage the reason you struggled in that lip sync?
Olivier wipes away a tear and shakes her head. She slowly replies.
No, judges. With the finale so close, I think I just got in my head.
Ash looks up at the ceiling in pain. He looks over to Yugi, who shakes his head sadly.
Olivier, I don't know what to do, because it's clear Yurio won that lip sync and rules are rules. Then again, it's been a weird week. I suppose we have to be the judges and make the decision. Well, the rules are the rules and everyone agreed this runway had been a fair showing. For that reason, I'm going to have to, well, I'm sorry to say, Olivier, now just maybe isn't your time.
Olivier nods and puts her head in her hands. Esdeath then speaks up.
Judges, if I may address you. Olivier has been a force in this competition, and it's been a chaotic week. Her track record speaks for itself. I know she had a bad lip sync. We all saw that. But Yurio's track record is insufficient to warrant him continuing in this competition. Surely that is clear to you.
Junta agrees with Esdeath and implores the judges to reconsider. Olivier raises her hand and says that while she appreciates the support, rules are rules and she's going to stick by them. Esdeath turns to her and says it's bullshit that she's being eliminated, but Olivier steadies herself and says she was one of the worst in the challenge and flopped that lip sync. Esdeath shakes her head in frustration. Ash and Yugi share a nod.
Queens, we've also made another difficult decision. Yurio, you clearly won that lip sync and your energy was infectious, though Esdeath is right, your track record hasn't been strong this competition. As such, we've made the decision that you will not be progressing in this competition either.
What? Did I just hear that right?
Oh, delicious. The drama, how delicious.
Ouch. It hurts, that's for sure. To get so close to the end and then not get the crown. I'm not delusional, though. I knew I wasn't getting the crown. I just wish I had made it to the finale.
Olivier and Yurio take their stance center stage.
Judges, I want to thank you. This is not how I saw this week going, nor how I saw my journey end, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles.
I echo Olivier's sentiments. This was not how I wanted things to end, but I've gained a lot from this competition, and I'm leaving with more friends than I expected.
Even though this is a heartbreaking goodbye to the both of you, I want you both to know we see you as fierce queens with a bright future ahead of you. If you do a show in our area, trust me, Yugi and I will buy a ticket. Now, as painful as it is for me to say, sashay away.
Yurio leaves first, saying that you can't spell legendary without Yurio, look it up. The queens laugh. Olivier then goes to leave, but she hesitates. As Esdeath comes on stage to see Olivier out, Olivier raises a hand. She goes to say something but shakes her head. Instead, she leans forward and kisses Esdeath. Esdeath is momentarily surprised, though returns the gesture.
I'm sorry, what? Obviously I've been out of it the last few weeks because this is news to me. Though love is love, and my god, what a power couple they would make.
Olivier gets to the end of the runway and says even in defeat she is still the most dangerous woman in the workroom. The queens laugh.
Oh gosh, it's been a hell of a week. On to some good news, I suppose. Queens, we've made a decision. With the double elimination this week, we've decided next week will be the grand finale, so please bring your A game.
Game on. From third out to a contender for the crown, nothing will stop me now.
Oh my god, are they serious? Almin and I really made the finale? This is incredible. I want the crown so badly.
Oh, it's on. We all have 2 wins, so this is anyone's game.
While I don't agree with the judging this week, I am glad to be going into the grand finale. Mark my words, viewers, this crown is mine. Esdeath does not lose.
Viewers, we want to hear from you. Are you Team Junta, Esdeath, Almin or Kay? Please put your favorite queen in the comments section below and click the Google Form survey in the description of this video. Your votes will determine the awards we give out next week. Queens, you may go untucked with the cast of Season 1 backstage, though we'll save that footage for next week. Queens, bring your A game next week as we crown a winner.
Elsewhere in the studio, Tatsumi is storming towards the exit. He bounds into Rick O'Shea, who says he has been looking for Tatsumi. Tatsumi initially dismisses Rick, though Rick says the director of Hanake Couture would like to meet Tatsumi in person and make him an offer he can't refuse. Tatsumi, intrigued, follows Rick.